I was driving to a protest in St. Petersburg today, and on the highway I saw a protest that I pulled over. We're gonna stop and see what's going on here. I think it's Latinos that are against the deportations. I'm just gonna ask them what they'd want to say to Donald Trump. I'm not wearing a MAGA hat because I want to get actual answers. So let's go see how this goes. And if you want to support my channel, givesendgo.com/AdamFrancisco. I'm the only man fighting a terminal illness while still fighting for this country, the Constitution, and Donald J. Trump. I appreciate you guys being here. And as always, God bless Trump.
On the corner of this busy intersection in Tampa, Brenda Garcia and others protested recent deportations from ICE.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting because they're deporting a lot of people. They have a long time in here.
Some of those deported, she says, were her loved ones.
And they are not a criminal. We come into work.
This smaller protest part of a bigger one planned Saturday.
What does your sign mean in English?
My dad works harder than your president.
My dad works harder than your president? Cool, thank you. Children are, I agree with that. How you doing, brother?
Hola for you, brother.
Hola.
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Oh, no, gracias. Thank you so much.
¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede.
¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede.
So say it with me. Sí se puede.
Hello there. Can I ask you a question? I have a YouTube channel. I just want to know what you would say to Donald Trump if he could see your if he sees this video.
I would say that families belong together. If you think about it, you get it.
Thank you. Would you guys like to say anything to the Trump campaign? If you could give a message directly to Donald Trump, what would you say to him?
To stop deportation, stop separating families. Think about how hardworking these people get up. They're part of our community. They've been part of our community for the past, they've been here 10 to 20 years. Fix it, or longer. So fix it, do something about it.
And what would your solution be for someone who was found to have entered the country illegally? What would your, if you could be the king for a day and wave your magic wand and come up with a solution, what would you do?
I would definitely give them permits to work legally here, and a lot of them do pay their taxes, a lot of them do stay out of trouble.
To check their morals, to know that they really do belong here, because most of the time it is people who are well behaved and they pay their taxes and they do what they have to do as a citizen should, and they deserve a chance to be here legally.
Do you want to say anything to Donald Trump's campaign directly? Anything? Do you want to say anything to the Trump campaign if he sees this?
I'll say, imagine it was your family. Every day when you wake up, imagine you are scared for your family. Wouldn't you do absolutely anything to protect your sons and daughters and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles? Because I think you would.
Let me ask you a question. Some people would say that if you enter Mexico illegally, for example, they would arrest you and deport you back to the U.S. What would you say, like, to that kind of comment?
I would say it's unrealistic. What's the word? Rebuttal. It's an unrealistic rebuttal, because where and when do you see that happening? How typically do you see all of the celebrities we worship and cherish so much on all these trips to these fabulous, beautiful places? These are the places you're sending people back to and hating people for coming from. They wouldn't. They wouldn't send us back. They welcome us in the same way we should welcome them.
Thank you for your words.
Of course. Thank you for asking.
You want to say anything to Donald Trump's campaign?
I just think that
when you're going to jobs and taking hardworking people from their jobs every day, people who have been in this country for many, many years, it would be one thing like if this was something that constantly went, but it's not. This is something that his presidency, his campaign has all been about, is hatred and putting us all against each other. And at the end of the day, we are all Americans. And even if it's not recognized, I think that anyone who's been here living their lives, that they're American too. Just because a piece of paper, that shouldn't prove whether or not someone should get to live here every single day with their family and all those things. This is ridiculous. The ICE raids, going to jobs, going to graduations. I mean, this is not what other countries do. They say this would happen in Mexico. They would do what? Where do we see that? We don't see that. So I just think that we've had enough. I think everybody's had enough.
So estimates say that under the Joe Biden administration, about 20 million illegals enter the country, about 5 million a year. What do you think should be done to that many people that are living here illegally? Do you think any of them should be deported?
It's just because, I'm going to say this, that once upon a time, there were injustices going on all across the world that were, or in America at least, that law was used, the law. But the law was not correct, and we've seen that many, many times. And so there has to be some sort of ground that we can find to make sure that these people don't have to leave their country. Some of these kids that have parents, they've been here years, they've never lived in Mexico. And if their mom and dad are leaving, they're gonna go too as well, you know what I mean? And so regardless of what this administration did or the last administration did, we're starting right here and moving forward. So what are we gonna do today to make sure that this does not happen? Because this is not a political campaign. This is people's real lives.
Would you want to say anything to the Donald Trump campaign? Would you want to say anything to the Donald Trump campaign? I don't work for him, but he might see this.
To be honest, I think the enforcement is really stupid.
You think what?
I think it's really stupid to deport what you guys call criminals when you voted your president as one. Because it's also really dumb how his own wife is an immigrant here, but he wants to deport our people. So.
And are you Mexican American?
Yes, I am.
Were you born there or here?
I was born here.
Got it. So you're standing up for those that were born there?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for being out here today.
I'll say something.
Oh, who wants to say something?
Thank you for making this vehicle available, making your channel available. What I want to say is it's a time for unity, unity of all peoples. We share, most of us are working class people, and black, white, Latino, Asian, Arab, we belong together.
Can I see what your sign says? Dreams are, oh, I saw the one on the way in. Very cool. So as you can see, there's about 30, 40 people here on North Dale Mabry. And a lot of these people here, all of them are here to stand against Donald Trump's mass deportations. A lot of them seem like they want to start from scratch, ignore the past, and they want to find a way to get any illegal that's in the country today, I guess, to stay. It doesn't seem too realistic to me. You know, we have to enforce our laws to discourage future illegal entries. But a lot of people seem to be like they're coming from a good place, from a good heart. Just not very, from my perspective, just not the most realistic. I do want to give them credit though. They got all the flags of the different Latin American countries, California as well. And they also do have the American flag here, which I think is a wonderful thing to see. Although I will point out that it is, I believe this is being held. I think you guys have it backwards. Because that's backwards, that's backwards. All right, they're gonna probably fix that. I also want to give a shout out to this woman's beautiful outfit right here. This is the way it should be done, people. If you're gonna protest Donald Trump and you wanna say that I belong in America, if you wanna say that mi gente, my people from Mexico belong in America, then this is how you do it. You wear the American flag to show that you wanna be here. So well done on this woman. She still has on the Mexico hat, made in Mexico, so she is still showing her heritage. Are you Mexican?
Sí.
Beautiful. Where were you born?
Where?
Yeah.
San Luis Potosí.
Oh, I was born in Guadalajara.
Oh.
Yeah, nací en Guadalajara.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Luis Potosí.
Let me see the hat. That's a beautiful hat.
It's from Tennessee.
It's a Tennessee hat?
Tennessee hat.
A great outfit too. Can I ask you why you're out here today?
Estamos aquí por nuestra gente que no puede estar. representando a nuestra gente por las injusticias que hay y que paren las deportaciones. Florida, no queremos aquí ICE, los vamos a echar para afuera.
And can you say that in English as well for my English audience? As best as you can.
We don't want ICE in Florida. We will get you out.
But isn't it so hot in Florida? Don't we need a little bit of ice? at least in our coffees and our teas, right? Don't we need ice in our drinks?
That's about it right
Thank you for your words. Thank you for your words. So, I take it you two are not Latinas?
No. No.
All right. So you're out here. Can you tell me why?
Because I have family members that are Latinos. So I decided to make it like that.
And did they marry in? Were they adopted?
Married in.
Married in? Okay.
And then made.
And what about you? Why are you out here?
Same thing, married in. My brother-in-law was picked up last Friday by an unlawful stop.
He was picked up. Was he deported? Is he going through the deportation process?
He was in immigration, and this morning he's not found. So we have no idea where he's at. So no, I do not agree with this.
So you think he might be being deported right now?
I would rather him be deported than not know where he's at.
Now, what was his status? Was he legal or illegal?
He was illegal. He's been trying for years to get legalization. He's got a business. And unfortunately, you know, in legalization, these people, like everybody says, it's easy. It's not easy.
Oh, no, I don't think it's easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. I know people that have gone through it for weddings, for marriage. It takes years and it takes a lot of money.
It's been 8 years, and my husband's still in Honduras, in Mexico now for 2 years. And they still haven't decided to let him come back.
Wow.
So I know it's not easy. And that's doing it the right way.
My question for you is, a lot of estimates say that under the Joe Biden administration, he opened up our border and allowed 20 million illegals to come in. If you were the president, how would you handle 20 million illegals flooding the country in a 4-year period? What would you do?
Now this.
So how would you handle it?
I mean,
would there be any deportations in your...
I mean...
Get rid of the criminals.
I would get rid of the criminals, but we're not getting rid of the criminals. We're getting rid of the hard workers. We're getting the ones that keeping the economy up. Me and my husband, we had a business. I had to let it go. I couldn't do it by myself. I got sick.
A lot of people say that once you've entered illegally, you are a criminal for that act. It is a misdemeanor.
I understand that, but it's not a misdemeanor to be put in a jail where one of the guys that was with my brother-in-law was moved to Louisiana yesterday and said they're being held food maybe once a day, no bath in 7 days, no phone calls, that is not crossing the border. It doesn't cause that. That's inhumane.
And one last question for you, since you guys are very open. Obama, he was actually called the deporter-in-chief. He deported about 4 million illegals during his presidency. Trump is at about 150,000. So that's a big difference. 4 million under Obama.
But you're talking about Obama, who was in office for how many years?
8 years.
And look where we're at with Trump in less than 6 months.
That's a fair point. But were you protesting against Obama when he was doing the mass deportations?
No, because he wasn't going to the job sites picking them up. There's a difference.
So it's not so much the number of deportations, it's how it's being done?
It's how it's being done.
Got it.
If we're going to do illegals, I get that. I mean, if we're looking for criminals, let's get criminals. Let's not get hardworking people that are keeping the society afloat.
So in your opinion, if someone enters the country illegally and then they commit an additional crime, we should throw them out first. Any closing thoughts for Donald Trump if he sees the video?
If he sees the video, he needs to have more of a heart because he himself should know what these people are going through.
Any closing thoughts for Donald Trump?
Fuck Trump.
Any closing thoughts for Donald Trump if you want to say anything to him?
He needs to do better.
Do better?
Yes.
How would you say that in Spanish? Do you speak Spanish?
Tiene que ser las cosas mejor.
Or do better.
And I do want to say, there's been a lot of feedback on the internet of the LA riots, because I'm sure you've seen the viral photos of people waving the Mexican flag. And that's in my opinion, that's pretty bad optics. The feedback was people should be waving the American flag, and you guys are doing that. All right, guys, that was a short video, a spontaneous protest we saw here in Tampa. And we're now heading to St. Pete for the next protest of the day. Protest season is absolutely wild. I am blowing through gas right now trying to get to all these different places for you. So again, if you want to support my work, giftsingo.com/AdamFrancisco. I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you're subscribed. A lot of great content coming up this week as well as next. And as always, God bless Trump.